All truth passes through three stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. To live alone is the fate of all great souls. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. The doctor sees all the weakness of mankind, the lawyer all the wickedness, the theologian all the stupidity. Just remember, once you're over the hill you begin to pick up speed. Each day is a little life, every waking and rising a little birth, every fresh morning a little youth, every going to rest and sleep a little death. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. A man can do what he wants, but not want what he wants. Men are by nature merely indifferent to one another, but women are by nature enemies. Money is human happiness in the abstract. He, then, who is no longer capable of enjoying human happiness in the concrete devotes himself utterly to money. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. Religion is the masterpiece of the art of animal training, for it trains people as to how they shall think. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. The first 40 years of life give us the text, the next 30 supply the commentary on it. Buying books would be a good thing if one could also buy the time to add them in. But as a rule, the purchase of books is mistaken for the appropriation of their contents. Change alone is eternal, perpetual, immortal. Nature shows that with the growth of intelligence comes increased capacity for pain, and it is only with the highest degree of intelligence that suffering reaches its supreme point. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. Writing is equivalent to thinking with someone else's head instead of with one's own. I've never known any trouble then an hour's reading didn't assuage. They tell us that suicide is the greatest piece of cowardice. That suicide is wrong, when it is quite obvious that there is nothing in the world to which every man has a more unassailable title than to his own life and person. There is no doubt that life is given us, not to be enjoyed, but to be overcome, to be got over. Willpower is to the mind like a strong blind man who carries on his shoulders a lame man who can see. The wise have always said the same things, and fools, who are the majority, have always done just the opposite. Every person takes the limits of their own field of vision for the limits of the world. Friends and acquaintances are the surest passport to fortune. Treat a work of art like a prince. Let it speak to you first. Politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. Martyrdom is the only way a man can become famous without ability. It is only a man's own fundamental thoughts that have truth and life in them, for it is these that he really and completely understands. To add the thoughts of others is like taking the remains of someone else's meal, like putting on the discarded clothes of a stranger. A man's face as a rule says more, and more interesting things, than his mouth, for it is a compendium of everything his mouth will ever say, in that it is the monogram of all this man's thoughts and aspirations. Sleep is the interest we have to pay on the capital which is called in at death. And the higher the rate of interest and the more regularly it is paid, the further the date of redemption is postponed.